All right, so the card assembly is really fairly simple and quite close to what we did for the other die cut cards. I'm going to put some adhesive around the edge here. Obviously this is my card base, so I'm going to glue the acetate onto it first, matching up the embossed images with the openings, and then I'm going to put the other layer on the top, and I'm going to put it underneath an acrylic block just to hold it in place for a few minutes, just to make sure everything is adhered properly. Now you do want to take a second to make sure that everything is matching within the window, and you can see that the acetate is warped a tiny bit, but it will flatten a little bit as I'm pressing it down here. So now let's do the other part. And same as the other ones, I want to get any of those little bits that are sticking in there, anything that can catch on anything, I want to make sure that those are glued down. So I'm making sure to put some adhesive on those parts there. There we go. And then, same as the other layer, we're matching the layers and the stamping. So I want to make sure this is completely dried, and then I'm going to stamp the sentiment. So I'm going to let this sit for a few minutes. I'll be back for you in a second, and then we will stamp the sentiment. All right, our layers are dried here. So now let's stamp our sentiment. So I'm going to put it in my stamp positioner. You could eyeball it and just go for it. However, because of all the layers and all the work we've already done, if by chance you stamp it and it doesn't stamp perfectly, it's going to be really, really difficult to get it in the same spot. So by having a stamp positioner, I know that if it doesn't stamp perfectly, I can just re-ink my stamp and go in again. So it just gives you a little bit of insurance there. So I'm using a pumice stone pad. It's a gray that's got a bit of brown to it, and I really like it with the platinum ink. So I like my stamp as is. If you wanted it darker, you could again re-ink the stamp and stamp it again, but I like that as it is. So you can clean your stamp and take it out. And there we go. We've got our stained glass stamped and embossed card. I'll see you in the next video, and we'll show you the last technique.